Hello and welcome to another Dev Diary video. Now before we get any further into it, there is no release date for Cicero yet, and that is incredibly unfortunate. I was really hoping that this would be the one, but alas, we are not so blessed. Anyway, let's go into what we do have though. So, visual changes for 1.2 and earlier. So this is by Carlberg. Hello and welcome to the Dev Diary for Imperator Rome. I'm Carlberg, art lead on Imperator, and today we're going to have a look at some of the visual changes that we've done to 1.2 Cicero. It's also going to be a bit of a retrospective at some of the visual additions since release as well, and our thoughts behind them. So, new interfaces and UX, user experience. As shown in earlier Dev Diaries, we've been working on improving our interfaces. This is a collaborative effort between our 2D artists and UX designer to make sure each window becomes more easily readable and contain the information you might need at a glance. In the case of our province view, for example, some information that wasn't as necessary was moved out, and more important information was moved in from other interfaces to make sure it's closer at hand. So yeah, this old view was absolutely terrible. It was real bad. The changes that I really think are good, the introduction of these the pie graphs here, just to show the culture and religion breakdown of the province as a whole, that's really good. What I'd like to see is that to be expanded just a wee bit to just give me a percentage. Just put a little percentage right there saying there is 80% of the pops in Latium are of my own primary culture. That's all I need. I just want that. That's fine. But yeah, we'll go into a bit more UI stuff. Actually, we'll do it now. Because honestly, Agamede, who some of you may know as Long Game Short, has honestly got some of the most necessary mods for Imperator right now. This is one of what he's working on right now. So this is his new Provincial Ui Area. And this isn't in the game, this isn't a mod that he's released just yet. This is just a work in progress, but being able to see, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18 different trade goods all at once without them all crushing up against each other, and you're unable to see even what you have, never mind how much of it you have. That's fantastic. That's way better than what we have right now. As I said, having the percentages over here, the total population of the province, that's real nice. Being able to see the stats of the governor that is governing the province, really vital information, and that's unfortunately, I mean, it's missing, isn't it? The percentages missing, and when you get more than, say, 10, I think, trade goods, this just get crunched and you can't see diddly dick, and it's not good. It's really not good. It doesn't scale very well, whereas this would scale very nicely. So I want to see that implemented into the game, really. What I do use right now, even though it's not really updated for the current beta, is I use this 1.2 Better UI mod pack, and this is, yeah, like I said, this is Agamede's mods, and honestly they just make the UI just so much better. Another thing, this one I love, being able to see over here the total amount of cohorts on each side, total amount of manpower on each side, total amount of boats on each side. The breakdown here, instead of again having them all crushed up at the top, this UI here is unbelievably better than what is currently in the game. And honestly, just hire the guy. Just hire the guy. Give him some money and the resources, and just set him free, because it's just better. It is honestly just better. Being able to see the various effects of the traditions before you hover over it. These boxes are big enough that they don't need to be tooltips. Yeah. Anyway, mini rant over. Let's get back to the Dev Diary. But yeah, just hire Agamede. Just give him some money. Just let him go. Let him do it. The new building icons were another area where we sought to increase the clarity, as the previous icons were small and unclear. When we added the new set of buildings, we made sure that they and the old ones had a more iconic look and easier silhouette to read. This includes both the new set of buildings for settlements and for cities and metropolises. Metropolises, I don't know. Yeah, no, it is better, I think. The only thing I would change here, literally the only thing, because I quite like these, but this here, that's it. Put the fort up here. The fort is up here, so just put it up here on the cities as well. Just have this, put it here, with the Patrick meme. Just take this, and we'll put it here. Anyway. In general, we're looking at making our interfaces more clear and streamlined. It's a bit of a balance, as we need to strike a balance between having information readily available, but it shouldn't be so cluttered that it's hard to actually discern. This is of course an ongoing process. We'll continue past 1.2 Cicero. Like I said, they have made an awful lot of progress. The UI has undoubtedly got better, but there are still areas that are glaring weaknesses, let's say, that really I want to see change in the future. Curtailed fog. As we got to hear from a lot of people after release, the fog was too strong. Yes. So much so that a mod popped up that went in and removed it completely. We definitely agreed it was too much and dialed it back. The before and after images will give you a good look or a good idea of the change to bring more clarity to the world. This mod was fantastic as well because it didn't change the checksum. It was just, if you wanted to, achievement hunt and whatever, you could still do it with this on, which was quite good. The fog became a problem when the game camera was at certain angles and just overall. We made sure that it'd look better at all zoom levels and just play a role in the background for areas much further away and in the distance. So, this one here is a controversial one. I know for a fact it's controversial. So, in 1.2 we dialed back the amount of visual cities in the world to create a stark contrast between sparsely settled provinces and large bustling cities. This also makes the growth of cities and civilizations stand out more in the world. And yeah, for sure, the cities certainly stand out. You're able to spot them on the map, no problem at all. But it also removes a lot of elements from the map, which were nice to look at. I know quite a few people are not so happy with this change. One thing I would maybe say it'd be a good idea is have the farms, the settlements, be empty until they have a building in them, and then just show like a couple of little buildings, or maybe if it's a farm house, then put a little farmhouse next to the farms. If it's a mine, put a little, it's going to be in the hills, so show a little mining element thing. That would be really nice. That'd be a lot of flavor, and I think that would be quite appreciated by a lot of people. A living world. Starting in 1.1, we've been adding more of what we call dynamic objects into the world. Yeah, like a mine and a farm. Yeah, let's move on. These come in the form of Constructible Wonders, which is interesting that you show one that isn't actually constructible. Storms, volcanic eruptions, and the like. There are ways for us to show the progress of the classical states, as well as the uncaring nature of the elements and the world itself. Yeah, like I say, it's interesting that they show, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is the statue of Zeus in Elis, or Olympia, which is owned by Elis. And that's not constructible, that is just there from game start. Been better if, for this picture, they had chosen the Colossus of Rhodes or Library of Alexandria. Those are the only two I think that are constructible. I might be wrong, but I'm fairly sure that is it. And the Colossus of Rhodes is just, I love that. I love it so much. And he's also got the storms and the winter. This looks really good. I really need to play more in wintry areas because I want to see this. This looks awesome. We aim to add more dynamic aspects to the world in the future, and it should also open up the avenue for our modders to add interesting things to the world as well. What I'm looking for with this is the potential for plagues and fires and earthquakes to be shown on the map. Like, that would be awesome. Fires and plagues aren't actually in the game right now, but they probably will be. But yeah, seeing like the earth crack beneath earthquakes, I know it's not realistic at all, but God, that would be so cool to see. It really would. Seagulls. So as many have spotted, and we've noted earlier, is now that all ports in the game have seagulls flying overhead. This is not merely for aesthetics, but also a sign that a territory is in a potential port location. He's talking about when something is uncolonized. Like if you go and look around Ireland, where there is like only one coastal province, you can spot the seagulls, even though there's no port there because nobody owns the land. I think there's like 5 ports if I remember rightly, but either way, yeah, you can see the seagulls. It's nice. Deep water ports were hard to construct in this era. The Romans did it, but it was more so during the Imperial era. Most states instead had to rely on using naturally occurring deep water for their ports. So now, even if a territory is uncolonized, these seagulls will be flying overhead as a telltale sign of the natural harbor location. And again, this is another thing that people have been a little bit iffy on, but I'm 100% behind. Mostly, I think I'm behind it because of my own taxes, where I kind of you have the modifiers that say this is really bad to build ships in. It's going to be 200% longer because I don't know the area around the province is full of silt and it's really bad for building boats. And then there's this place here though that's fantastic. It's deep water and you've got a lovely port location, like that kind of thing. And it's basically the same idea. Instead, it's a little bit more extreme because you literally cannot build boats in areas that don't have the ports. And I think Mayon Texas would probably do the same if they could. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And then visualizing the future. Going forward, we aim to add more interesting aspects to the world to tell the state of your empires or what might afflict them, a more living world we will all enjoy conquering. Some of the things on the horizon I'm burning to show you, but those will have to wait until they're ready for showing. I'm fairly sure this is there's gonna be fires in the game because I mean we've had that teased already, so burning to show you is, I think it's a little on the nose. Anyway, just because it's already been shown, basically I made a comment about this is a really awesome UI element and you should totally add it to the game because it's necessary and it seems quite popular as well, so that's nice. But anyway, that is the dev diary. Now I'm going to hijack on the end of this dev diary just to say once more that I am going to be starting an Imperator Rome multiplayer campaign. It's a community multiplayer where anyone is free to join. We're hoping for around 30 to 40 players even, and that'll be starting right after Cicero comes out. We will be using the updated version of this mod pack, or maybe even just some of the individual mods out of it, I'm not sure just yet, but we will be using that mod pack, and if you would like to take part, there is a link in the description below for a video that I've done announcing the multiplayer, and also links to my Discord where you can learn a bit more about it there as well. So it'd be great to see you join the Discord and join the community and have fun and play games and stuff, and that would be pretty cool. So I hope to see you there. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.